Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Awards Watch Oscar podcast. I'm your host, Eric Anderson. This is podcast number 46, and today I have with me Gold Rush Gang member Julia. Hello, Julia.
Hey, how are you, Eric?
I am doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Cool. So today we're going to talk about, and it's Sunday, December 11th today, we're going to talk about the state of the race because we have a big handful of critics' awards under our belts to start shaping that race in AFI. And today alone is San Francisco, Boston, Toronto are all announcing probably as this podcast happens. So I might dip out and take a peek as they come in and
Breaking news.
News.
It's not live.
Except exactly, it's not live. I think we should do a live podcast one day because that would be the hottest.
We should do it during the Golden Globes.
Okay, that might be on the docket to do because I know we will all be very drunk at that time.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pencil that in because that sounds like fun. All right, so let's kind of just get underway and take a look at how the race is shaping, because it seems like there's not a whole lot of surprises so far. We've got Moonlight and Manchester by the Sea and La La Land being the films that have won Best Picture, Best Film, or the whatever each critics group offers, and that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Julie, do you think, though, that La La Land, while being the perceived Oscar Best Picture frontrunner, needs these critics' awards?
No.
Me neither.
Not at all.
It did manage that New York Film Critics Circle win.
Which is a lot more than they needed, so. Mm-hmm. The thing is, I've always said films like Moonlight absolutely need the Critics' Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester by the Sea, not so much, but a bit more, because it's still a Kenneth Branagh movie. But La La Land? No, not at all. If it starts to miss televised awards, then we might start getting worried.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and that's something that I think we always emphasize every award season when we start seeing the Critics' Awards differing from the televised awards. It happens all the time. Moonlight and Manchester by the Sea are two of the highest rated movies of 2016. So their winning in these various critics groups makes perfect sense. And La La Land has, I think, is in the 90s. So it's not a slacker by any means. But you're absolutely right when you talk about a movie like Moonlight or Manchester by the Sea, which are smaller films that are, still trying to earn some audience at the box office that need this kind of thing if they want to become an Oscar contender, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are seeing a lot of unity, though, with some of these categories. One of which is not surprising, one of which is really kind of surprising. In Best Actor so far, Casey Affleck is just really dominating. The only thing he's missed so far is Los Angeles, and he was runner-up there. So I don't think that's too much of a surprise. I still think that it is a race between him and Denzel Washington in Fences, but I am definitely leaning toward Affleck as being the front runner now. Would you?
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. There's this thing about his past and maybe the way it's being treated differently from how the whole controversy about Birth of a Nation was treated. Mm-hmm. But I think in the end, it won't affect him. He still go all the way to the Oscar podium.
Yeah, I don't think it will affect him because it's clearly not affecting him so far.
Yes. And it's not as if they're selling the movie on him like they were selling the Birth of a Nation on the director slash writer slash main actor.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. So the other one that is, for me at least, that was and is more of a surprise is Mahershala Ali in Moonlight being
absolutely
the kind of chosen one in supporting actor. He is slaying. He got Washington D.C., he got New York, he got Los Angeles, and Boston Online, and then we'll see what happens later today. I imagine he's going to do very well today as well. And this is I'm kind of super happy about this for a few reasons. One, because I love Moonlight. I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Two, Ali's performance is really, really fantastic. But because he is only in the beginning of the film, because of how the story is told in Moonlight, there was, all of these possibilities of, him kind of being forgotten, and also being in a film that has 4 extremely strong supporting male performances. But clearly, critics, and it would seem A24 as well, have really zeroed in on Ali as the focus, and he's gotten it all. And he benefits, I think, extraordinarily from this category having no frontrunner and being completely open.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Supporting in general is pretty bare this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think A24 was pretty smart to realize it and focus their strength in one actor. And I think they chose him because he's the most well-known of the supporting actors in Moonlight.
Yes.
And I think his role, I haven't seen the movie, but I've read the script. And his role, while small, is very significant on the story.
It is significant, and one of the best things about it is that his character might seem like a archetype, black male role, but as played and as actually written, it completely subverts all of the stereotypes, and that is one of the great strengths of Jenkins' screenplay and Ali's performance.
Yeah, I agree.
So in this category, the only other person so far to have won anything was Jeff Bridges in Hell or High Water, because he took National Board of Review.
Which is like, whatever.
It is, but I mean, if there is anybody that is a sort of, I think, competitor to Ali, that's who it would be. Would you agree?
Maybe.
Okay, so who do you think might be his competition, Ali's competition?
No one. That's the point.
I like that. That works for me. That's perfect.
I mean, I just don't see. Maybe Jeff Bridges because of who he is, but at the same time, not really, because there isn't this urgency to award him right now.
Yeah.
So, and Oscars are a lot about narrative. So I remember an interview J-Lo gave about last year's awards race. And it was pretty early on, and she was like, oh yeah, this is going to be Breeze because it's Breeze's year. And it wasn't because it was the best performance or the best character or anything like that. It's just because there was this feeling that it was just her time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. And right now, I feel as if for all the acting categories, the main narrative is that it is his time. It is Ali's time.
Well, and you are right. And it's really strange because I've seen these arguments of people saying that, Ali isn't known or well known enough. And I'm very confused by that because he's an Emmy nominee for House of Cards, which he's been on since the beginning of the show's run. He had a huge part in Luke Cage this summer, which was a massive hit. He has Moonlight and Hidden Figures. He has an incredible amount of visibility, so it's very strange to me that I've seen some people confused as to him as a viable and realistic winner here.
Yeah, and even before this year, he was a guy who has been in the industry for some time. He has done a lot of TV shows, small parts. He was part of the cast of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Mm-hmm.
So I think while the general public, for lack of a better term, might not have known him before this year when he actually broke through, I think the industry knows who he is.
Yeah, and I think something like that is going to work extremely well for him with the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, absolutely.
That should be a pretty easy one. We'll get to that later. Actually, there are a couple of other surprises, and I know this is going to upset so many maniacs, but here we go. I would have thought that the lead actress, best actress, critics wins this year were really going to be this volleying back and forth between Isabelle Huppert in Elle and Natalie Portman in Jackie, because both actresses have received like best of career reviews for their films. And even though Emma Stone, I believe, is the frontrunner for the Oscar, it's not the kind of thing that's going to, like her film, grab all of these critics' awards. Nor does she need it. And lo and behold, it's Huppert that has absolutely dominated.
I know, I'm shocked.
I am too. I'm pleased and I'm super happy. It's just, it's a bit of a surprise. And I really like it when critics sort of kind of strike this balance between obviously their favorites of the year, but also a little bit of mission statement pushing and agendas. And people shit on critics all the time for pushing agendas at Critics Awards, and I just don't care.
Well, I don't care when I like the person.
Well, yes, okay, maybe that's a little closer to the truth. But this is a performance and a role, especially, that has a lot of controversy around it, and it needed this as well. It needed this type of validation.
Yeah, for the longest time, I've resisted predicting Huppert. Exactly because of this, I was thinking that the passion vote would be divided between her and Portman. Mm-hmm. And when an Oscar voter was, I don't know, during Christmas, oh, what should I watch? I might watch Jackie, or I might watch this random French movie about rape. And sure, I'll watch Jackie, because they are both loved by the critics. But what is happening, Jackie is pretty much a non-factor. And even Portman, she only won one critical award, and not even that relevant. So I don't want to jinx it, but I think Huppert might be actually safer than Portman right now.
I'm really almost in the same boat there. In my ranked Oscar predictions, I have Stone first, and I do still have Portman second, and then Huppert third. But I am more than willing to flip that, because it's just so surprising to see what's happening. And it's still early. It's only December 11th. We have a handful of things to go on, but it's impossible to ignore this, and it is a genuine surprise that Jackie has underperformed as it has with AFI, with NBR. It's not showing up. It showed up at Washington, D.C. film critics who, no offense to them, but, it's a movie about a first lady, so it's just like, I don't really, I'm not gonna go too crazy on that. And, for the record, I absolutely love Jackie, and I love Portman in it. So my feelings on it are not personal feelings. I love the movie. So, to haters.
Oh, we should have heard Anne Thompson. Should try to warn us.
I know. Anne is the queen. Anne knows things.
She knows how to read a room.
She really does. She knows how to read the Academy too. So I love
Yeah.
Anne. Let's see. Let's also look just really quickly at director, which is completely right now split between Barry Jenkins in Moonlight, who's won 3, and Damien Chazelle for La La Land, who's won 2. And again, Chazelle's wins are definitely from lesser tier critics associations. No offense to them, but Boston Online and Washington D.C. are not New York and L.A.
True.
And this is a great boost for him too, because I mean, we've already said it, and it cannot really be reiterated enough that a movie like this, a tiny independent movie about black queer youth men, is a major Oscar player, and that is the kind of thing that does not happen just out of nowhere. It happens with support and passion and pushes.
Yeah, and a small, very, very, very small part of me still won't believe until I see it on Oscar Nod Day.
I know, and it's
because I mean, it's not because of the subject matter, but remember Carol winning a lot of things, being nominated for a lot of things, and then comes Oscar Day and no directing, no Best Picture nomination.
I know, and I know a lot of similarities have been made. Carol was the highest rated movie last year with any type of mid-range to wide release, and Moonlight is this year. And I do think that we can establish a few certain elements and differences between the two, and one of those was the constant word that the perception of Carol was that it was too cold.
Yes.
And I don't know, if how much of that is true. I don't know if that is trying to be code for something else. But but I think it's a pretty valid thing, and that was creeping up all throughout Oscar season up until Oscar nomination morning.
Yes, and it doesn't seem to be the case here. So.
No, it doesn't. It seems very different here.
Well, anyway, I really hope that Barry Jenkins breaks the NBR curse.
Oh dear, yeah. Yeah, there's that too. Okay. But so many NBR curses have been broken in the last couple of years.
True.
So
True.
I feel like that's going to be okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's still my number 2. I think Moonlight will go all the way, but there is still a very small part of me that is a little bit reluctant.
I do too, and it was seeming earlier in the season that it would be the kind of movie that would be like Room or Beasts of Southern Wild, where it was the very cool hip indie pick that broke through a lot of stale traditional nominations. But it's definitely surpassed that at this point.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I think we've kind of looked at what that state of the race is. I think we should go right to some juicy stuff like Golden Globes and Screen Actors Guild.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Let's do it, because Golden Globes are driving me up the fucking wall.
It's not just you.
I am so... I can't recall a year that I've been this flummoxed. And just... I don't know. I don't know what's going to get in. There's most of the time I feel like, okay, I feel pretty good with the, this 5 and with this 5. And this year I don't. So there are very few categories I feel, pretty strongly about getting in, and least of all is the big one, is motion picture drama. And I think we should just start right off there. We could probably spend an entire damn podcast on this because it is messy.
Oh, yeah.
We have, I think, almost 8 to 10 realistic possibilities here. And so many ways that it could play out. And that's based on, obviously, buzz and looking at what studios or executives have done very well here traditionally, even if their studio is in a shambles right now. I won't name any names, of course.
Oh, yeah. Poor thing.
Yes. But okay, let's kind of get right to it. Let's get right to it. What do you have as your top 5 for motion picture drama at Golden Globes?
Okay, I have 3 I'm quite confident in. Manchester, Moonlight, and Hell or High Water because of the CBS Films connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Silence and Arrival, which probably won't be what will be there at the time Gold Rush closes.
That's really funny because I also feel very strongly about Moonlight, Manchester, and Hell or High Water, but my other 2 are totally different than yours.
You see?
It's Fences and Lion.
I've had both of them on my predictions probably 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I just put Lion back in this morning, and I mean, my God, my predictions now look so different than the ones I posted on the main page, which was like, Hacksaw Ridge is going to blow up and explode here. And now I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? But
unless it does tomorrow, in which case you're absolutely right.
Yes, at least I will be right in one section of Awards Watch. My God, I'm baffled. I am actually super excited about this because even if my predictions are totally batshit wrong, I'm going to be really excited to see what actually gets in. I mean, I do have Lion in because Weinstein's track record here is extraordinary. And I have heard that it's a very loved film within this group. The international element of it has got to be very appealing to a group of international journalists. Because otherwise, the other things that I have are extremely American. Really, really American. And so I just... Fences I have because they are such huge fans of Denzel Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe I took him out of directing. Oh, I didn't. I still have him in. Oh, Lord. I'm in so much trouble. I mean, he just won their, Cecil B. DeMille. They're gonna put him in.
Will they?
I think so. Although they have not given him a directing nomination before. He's only had 2 other films. One of them did earn a motion picture drama nomination from them, though. So that's
interesting.
It's kind of what I'm holding on to is that tiny little thread. But again, I might pull Washington out director by tonight. You have Arrival in, which I can see.
Yeah, the thing with Arrival is that historically, the Globes have not been that fond of genre movies, sci-fi or so. But at the same time, I feel as if Arrival has been a bit overperforming. So, I don't know, I'm kind of betting on it. But I might change my mind.
Yeah, but I agree with you that it has overperformed, much to kind of my glee, because I know a lot of pundits were so down on it.
Yeah. And Silence, I just don't know how to read Ana Maria Baiana's reaction to it.
I know, me neither. They, the Hollywood Foreign Press loves Scorsese, but I mean, right now I don't have it in. It's on the outside. Yet I have Scorsese in director.
Yeah, I have it in directing, and I won't change it, but I might take it out of picture.
It's insane though because right now it's the only nomination I have for Silence is directing, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It should be in screenplay too, but I mean
No.
that's a category I can't pull anything out of right now either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's I think somebody in the forums, I think it was Chris, another Goldfish Gang member, said anyone that can get the actual top 5 of motion picture drama for the Globes should deserve some kind of like extra award or points or something because and I agree it's going to be really tough. I think once the ashes have settled and all the pundits' predictions are matched up with the actual nominations, I'm going to be really impressed with anybody who gets this top 5 correctly.
Well, you do have a bonus if you get both top 5s correctly. So
Oh, that's right.
there's that.
I forgot. Which that can bring us then right to the next motion picture category, which is comedy musical, which is
Oh,
actually
yes.
it's that's another difficult one.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of robust with some really good films and a lot of mixed messages about feelings of certain movies.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna start off with my predictions right
Sure.
now, which again I think changed like late last night. I had 20th Century Women, Florence Foster Jenkins, La La Land, The Lobster, and Love and Friendship.
Okay. No, I have pretty similar ones. I have Hail Caesar instead of The Lobster.
Which I just took out.
I feel as if they really like the Coen brothers. And there's the George Clooney factor. So if they're going to vote for Fences because Denzel just got this has to be the meal, George Clooney got it about a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so curious about excuse me. Hail Caesar. I mean, obviously getting into NBR was not a big shock cuz Clooney. But I'm just wondering here. I'm wondering. Inside Llewyn Davis we've got in, but that seemed like a pretty easy get here. And that was a film that was just chugging along and doing extremely well until the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
And that had the Coens and CBS Films at the together at the Globes, which is a perfect marriage right there.
If only it started Emily Blunt.
Yeah. Oh my God, Emily Blunt. She. And I'm not going to talk about that. So okay. The Lobster. This is something that I'm kind of flipping back and forth with because it seems like a total Globey pick, and they do like Colin Farrell. He is a winner here. But what I have heard, and I think others have as well because I've seen tweets about it from other pundits, is that it is incredibly divisive. And from Miss AMB, she said it has as fierce advocates as it does opponents, and it is possibly the most divisive movie, that has a realistic shot here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm struggling with that.
I think it's a totally valid prediction. It's very possible, but for me, it doesn't really feel like a Globes movie for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know. It's just a feeling. It's not really based on any research or anything. But I feel as if, especially on comedy, they don't really go for such a quirky, weird movie that is not very well praised. It's very respected, but it has not been getting lots of critics awards or anything like that.
Well, it did get that screenplay win.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking just about motion picture.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Main categories. I mean, I think it's totally possible it shows up in the screenplay.
Yeah. What's really kind of strange about this category for me is that there's a handful of other contenders in it that seem like they could have or should have been very competitive here. Like Cafe Society, Rules Don't Apply, Sing Street. These are all movies that did pretty poorly at the box office. Not very much support from their studios, but all come from either distributors or directors that have a really good track record with the Globes, and they would have been pretty easy picks had they been maybe better reviewed and had better box office. Something like Rules Don't Apply, especially. I mean, that is a disaster. It is. There's no other way to describe it. It was just an epic fail of a release.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yet it's very likely that Warren Beatty's going to be in here and get an acting nomination.
Yeah, I tried really hard to find someone to replace him.
I just finally relented and put him in when I posted my official Golden Globe predictions, which came just, a couple of weeks after being on Clayton Davis's awards circuit podcast saying, "No, Clayton, he's not getting in. You're insane and absurd." But there you go. That's what happens when you have to give in and see things maybe how they really are and not how you want them to be.
Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, when they needed one extra person last year for the comedy musical category, they went to Mark Ruffalo for a movie that wasn't even promoted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like the obvious, we have no choice, we're going to get this guy for this movie. It's not that the movie was not well received, it's that it completely bombed.
Well, it also wasn't well received.
Yeah, true.
It did pretty poorly.
Yeah.
It's
in all aspects.
Yes. I mean, it was interesting. Davis's big thing was, how are they going to have, Annette Bening as a nominee and not Warren Beatty? And that was kind of like what he was holding on to. And I didn't really see that as a strong enough reason. Although, it is in my re-estimation of it, it is part of it. But I'm kind of looking at him now like Jane Fonda's Globe nomination for Youth, where it was sort of like throughout the season it seemed like, oh yeah, okay, this is going to happen, and it happened at the Globes, and then never. That's it. It was done, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So.
Yeah, no, I could totally see it happening. I'm just not betting on it. We'll see.
Yeah. I think if the Weinstein Company had done a better job, or any job, promoting Sing Street, that it would be a real contender here. And I won't be surprised if it gets in. It could still get in. And I hope that it does. Because it is actually more in line with the musical or comedy, category.
Yeah, but even their strategy is weird. I mean, A&B just confirmed on Twitter that they submitted all the songs, which we know might not really be a good strategy. So, I mean, it's not as if they are trying very hard.
No, it's unfortunate. Hopefully the Weinstein Company can, rise from their collective ashes and become a real studio contender again, because they've had a very difficult year. Even with Lion as their main push, they are struggling with. That movie is having a hard time at the box office. It's not showing up at NBR, AFI, regardless of what official eligibility of that was. So it needs something more.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't show up here, it's dead. It's over.
Agreed. But again, that was also something that is reportedly pretty popular. So I don't know. You don't know. At 5:15 tomorrow morning, we will find out, and all of us will be like, "What? How the hell did that get in there?"
Oh yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about the acting categories at the Globe, since there are so many of them. A lot of them. Let's talk about. I was like saving actress. Let's save actress for a little bit, and let's talk about actor in a motion picture drama.
Okay.
Right now, I literally have two lists up right now. I have two separate sets of predictions, and I'm flipping back and forth between them, and it's maddening. It's driving me insane. All right, let's talk actor in a motion picture drama. All right, what do you have?
Okay, I have Casey Affleck, Joel Edgerton for Loving, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Tom Hanks for Sully, and Denzel Washington for Fences.
I have the same as you, except instead of Garfield, I have Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic.
Okay, he's my sixth. I think
although, like I said, since I have two separate sets of predictions, one of them is the same as yours. But right now, I'm going with, and you can look at my predictions on the main page, and that is the one that is closer to what yours are, Julia. And then I'm looking at my Gold Rush contest of what is going to get me more points. Oh,
this podcast takes place in two different timelines.
It really does. It absolutely does. That's a perfect way to describe it. Oh, jeez. And this is tough. I feel extremely confident about Affleck, Hanks, and Washington. I know they really liked Loving, so I feel pretty good about Edgerton. So it's really kind of just the Mortensen, Garfield, and which one. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I don't think Keaton is going to sneak in here.
No. I don't think so either.
Do you said Garfield for Hacksaw, right?
Yeah.
Is that just because it came out earlier and is a little more seen versus Silence?
Maybe, but also because all the reviews have Silence, even the ones that are quite referential, they have Silence as a directing feast and Scorsese's dream movie, and even the ones that talk about the acting, they're pretty divisive on Garfield. Some of them call him miscast. So I think if they nominate him, it's going to be for Hacksaw Ridge, not for Silence.
Yeah, I loved Silence, loved it, but I do think Garfield was not the best lead. He is better in Hacksaw Ridge. I don't know. I think he was a better fit for Silence because he could fit a Jesus-looking mold better than most, or a white Jesus anyway.
I see.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. I think we were pretty good there, but yeah, let's just move on. All right. How about actor in a motion picture comedy musical?
Okay.
This is also pretty open. I think there's a lot of possibilities.
Yes, it is. I mean, we can be pretty sure Ryan Gosling will be there for La La Land, and after that, who knows?
Yeah, basically that's it. I think that's exactly right. For the longest while, I had Ryan Gosling getting double nominated here. I,
I
I
went back and forth with that,
yeah.
but right now I have Russell Crowe.
What's that?
Yeah, I went back and forth, but now I have Russell Crowe for The Nice Guys rather than Ryan Gosling.
Okay. All right. So who else do you have? Since that's two of your
I have
list.
Clooney for Hail Caesar,
Holy shit.
Colin Farrell for The Lobster, and Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins, assuming they will promote him.
Well, he is officially in lead there.
Yeah.
So that's I think is going to happen. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we have some differences. I do have Hugh Grant, Ryan Gosling for La La Land, and Colin Farrell. But then I also do have Warren Beatty for Rules Don't Apply and Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool.
Yeah, I considered Deadpool pretty hard, pun intended. But the thing is that I remember a couple of years ago, Awards Watch in general was trying really, really hard to make the Marvel Chris, the one in Passengers, Chris
Pratt.
Chris Pratt happen for Guardians of the Galaxy. And I remember doing Gold Rush, and almost all the ballots had him in comedy. And Guardians of the Galaxy was actually a lot better received than Deadpool, even if Deadpool was quite well received. It made a lot more money, and it went nowhere. So I don't think they're nominating a superhero movie in comedy. I might be wrong, but I'm not betting on it.
I hear you. I hear you on the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. I do feel this is a pretty different situation. I think that the comedy of the film is almost more in the front than even the Marvel superhero element of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Deadpool kind of comedy doesn't work for everyone.
It doesn't. But I'm also going with Ryan Reynolds' pretty hilarious self-campaigning that he's doing. And I think it's going to work on them. Not in a Sharon Stone, here's a gold watch kind of way, but in a way that they like. They're a very small group. They do like the stars' attention. That's not really very disputable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I do think that this will be a bit of a breakthrough for this kind of role, kind of movie, and things like that. But at the same time, there's, like you have, Russell Crowe, George Clooney, Adam Driver in Patterson. And I'm actually kind of worried about, and I had him in predictions months ago, Don Cheadle in Miles Ahead, since he's announcing the nominations.
Miles Ahead is drama.
That's right. Still. Oh, God. Yeah, he's not going to be able to break any drama. All right, never mind. Scratch that. Sorry, Dawn. You can have your...
You tried.
You can have your other TV Globe win, and that's good. I'm curious about the George Clooney nomination. I mean, is it really just to kind of get him there? They've kind of started to avoid that, though.
Yeah, they have, but at the same time, they still like their... I mean, the thing is, comedy seems a bit weak right now. I mean, there are a lot of options, but there are not a lot of strong options. So sure, they might go with Warren Beatty, but Warren Beatty might be even weaker than George Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they like Clooney a lot more.
I think so, too. He's more relevant. So
yeah,
I don't
think it's purely star fucking. I mean, it's just like 80% of it that they might actually appreciate the performance.
I think there's plenty of that. I definitely do.
I think Hail Caesar played well for them.
I think
I might be misremembering it, but I think I remember Ana Maria Baiana saying so.
I think I might have. I need to double check. I think I had Hail Caesar in when I did my official prediction. So if so, and it gets in tomorrow, yay! But oh my goodness, if not, let me double check really quick. Yes, I do. In my official predictions, I didn't have 20th Century Women. I had Hail Caesar in. So if that works out, then good. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I can't see it. If they do it, that brings a really big ensemble to their party.
True. That's a very good point.
If they go with Hail Caesar. Shit. Oh, man. Okay, all right. Let's move on to actress because these are the two best categories always. But we're going to start with motion picture, comedy, musical. Because that's what I want to do.
All right.
Who is your top 5?
Okay. So, the 3 possible Oscar contenders. So, Emma Stone for La La Land, Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins, and Annette Bening for 20th Century Women.
Agreed.
And then I have Kate Beckinsale for Love and Friendship. And the 5th one, I kept going back and forth, but I'm trying something different. I'm going with Renée Zellweger for Bridget Jones' Baby.
I was with you right up until then, but...
yeah, I figured.
and I have done the exact same thing. I have gone back and forth between Sally Field and Renée Zellweger. I do wish that had been a slightly bigger hit for Zellweger to kind of push her way through, but I can absolutely see her making it in.
I mean, she was Emily Blunt before Emily Blunt was Emily Blunt for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think she might still have some influence.
Except Renée Zellweger can actually get Oscar nominations and wins. So.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
So, yeah. I don't see a whole lot of chances for strange nominations to get in here. No, speaking of Emily Blunt, no,
salmon fishing
in Yemen. But
I'm seeing a lot of people predicting Haley Steinfeld for The Edge of 17.
That's exactly what I was going to mention, because it could be her Emma Stone and Easy A nomination.
Could.
I
don't think it will be, but could.
No,
yes.
I'm seeing lots of people predicting Lily Collins and Rules Don't Apply, and I think that's kind of insane, personally. So.
Well, it's the age of FBA, but I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't see it. But otherwise, I feel pretty good about this category. I am back and forth on Sally Field or Zellweger. Either of them would make sense here. But I'm going to stick with Sally Field. Even though, she's not like a Globe favorite by any stretch.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Certainly not in film. She didn't even get in for Soap Dish, which is a fucking crime. How? Like, what? No. Unacceptable. She should win just as a makeup for not getting nominated there. I'm just going to throw that out. Because that was a disaster.
Tweet AMD.
That would be perfect. Okay, all right. Let's get to the best category. Actress in a motion picture drama. Oh goodness, we are nothing if not awards watch. All right.
We know our public.
Exactly. All right, so here's who I have. I have Amy Adams in Arrival, Jessica Chastain in Miss Sloane, Isabelle Huppert in Elle, Ruth Negga in Loving, and Natalie Portman in Jackie.
Okay, I have 4 out of your 5. Because you know who the HFPA loves more than Jessica Chastain?
Do you really have her in?
I do. I have her in.
See, I did for a while, but then the box office and
Yeah, but
reviews.
it's not like Miss Lowe is doing any better.
I know.
It's because of box office.
But at least her reviews are better. Oh my god! That better not happen. It better not happen. But if it does,
I mean, I'm sorry, but it is more likely than Miss Sloan.
oh goodness. And obviously, for those listening, we are talking about Emily Blunt again. Poor girl.
I'm sorry, but if they're listening and they don't understand that,
I know.
Go read something.
Then we don't know our audience that well. No, that is, oh god, yeah. I mean, months ago I had Emily Blunt in, and that was like, okay, that's an easy one. Let's just put that in right now. And then I eased off of it. I know a lot of people have Taraji P. Henson here. A lot of people.
I could see that happening.
Instead of
I really
Chastain.
could. I think she's more likely than Chastain, honestly. I don't think Chastain is happening here at all.
Oh my god. Am I really going to screw up that bad with having her in?
I don't know. Maybe I will, because I'm totally tanking Gold Rush this year, so you probably shouldn't listen to me.
Oh gosh,
Just a PSA.
I do think that, I mean, I feel really, really strongly about 4 of the 5 here.
Yeah.
Which I think all of us do. And most predictions that I'm seeing are Adams, Nega, and Portman, with that 5th slot being, either Chastain or Blunt or Henson. It's open. And I think anyone that nails that correctly is doing a really good job. It seems it's so odd because this year the lead actress category, especially the Oscars, is so rich. But this feels like that 5th spot is padding.
Yeah, but this always happens at the Globes.
It's because goddamn Annette Bening, Meryl Streep, and Emma Stone are over in comedy. It makes this a more difficult category now.
Yeah.
How hilarious and horrible would it be if they snubbed Meryl Streep this year, though?
Oh, come on, no!
Giving her the Cecil B. DeMille and then snubbing her.
I mean, I could totally see that happening.
Oh
Totally.
My God. Not that I want that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for.
I mean, I have just been so confident on the Streep Oscar nomination this year that I really don't want that to happen because I don't want to start doubting myself. But they're splitting categories. I mean, who they're gonna put? I mean, they're really gonna take off Meryl Streep to put Sally Field. I'm sorry, no.
Oh my God! I'm not even going to consider it because it's so insane. It's not going to happen. I shouldn't have even thrown that into the universe. It's so dangerous.
If it happens, it's your fault.
It's true.
You jinxed her.
Oh my God! All the Street fans.
Though to be fair, it would be a lot worse if you said she was going to win.
Yes. Well, that's not going to happen. All right, let's jump to the supporting categories here, which have a little bit of room, I think. Although I do feel like these might be one of those I feel very strongly about 4 out of 5 again. And actually,
yes.
Actually, I kind of do. In actress, I feel very strongly about 4 of 5. In actor, I feel pretty good about 4 or 5. It's either 3 or 4.
Okay.
So who do you have for actress in a supporting role?
All right. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I have Viola Davis, Naomi Harris, Michelle Williams, Nicole Kidman, and Helen Mirren for Eye in the Sky.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know. I had Greta Gerwig for like a split second, and I think it's quite possible she gets in. But I don't want to predict 5 out of 5 from my Oscar predictions.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, and Helen Mirren has been campaigning, and they quite like her. So not as much as SAG, but
yes, yeah. Now, so I have 4 of 5 of what you have. I have Davis, Harris, Kidman, and Williams, and my 5th is a nightmare to try and figure out because Helen Mirren makes such perfect sense. Greta Gerwig would make sense if I felt she was really a contender here. I think people are trying to make her a contender here.
yeah, I agree.
And so I have Octavia Spencer in Hidden Figures.
Oh, totally fair. I mean, they should have just gone to Julianne Moore for...
For Maggie's plan.
I mean, if they just want to fill out a 5th spot, she's there. I mean, I'm sure she'd love to show up.
It would be such a great nomination. I love that.
But yeah, seriously, I think Octavia Spencer makes a lot of sense.
And the reason I have her in over Janelle Monáe, even though I think Monáe would deserve a spot more than Spencer, is purely on some name recognition. But I mean, Monáe has Hidden Figures and Moonlight. She has a lot of visibility. If they're going to go really strong on Moonlight, they're going to know who she is, and that would benefit her in this category in Hidden Figures. So I'm on the cusp. You know, Spencer, Gerwig, Mirren, and even Monáe all make sense here.
It's the curse of the 5th spot.
It is. What if there's a weird scenario in which they loved Love and Friendship so much that Chloe Sevigny makes it in here, and this is the only
Don't
place.
even start. You know what's gonna do to AW? I mean, just no. Move on. Next category.
But it could happen.
No.
It could happen.
Don't give them hope.
I know. I'm just trying to find.
I mean, the only thing worse than that would be if you had said that J-Law had a chance for Passengers.
Oh my God, no, that's not going to happen.
Tell that to her fans.
I know. They just, I love them. They just don't know how things work. So, you know.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
But seriously, it could happen if it's really, really well received.
Sure.
I don't think it will happen.
There are always left field, nominations at the Globes and at any awards body. There's like, oh wow, I hadn't thought about that.
Who's distributing Love and Friendship?
That is Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because they already have Michelle Williams there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I'm not really looking. I'm not saying that Sevigny is like realistic at all. I'm just saying, just putting it out there as a maybe.
Sure.
It would be certainly more fun than something like Helen Mirren getting in. That would depress me because it would be so boring.
Well, it's the Globes. Crazier things have happened.
So both of us feel very strongly
Hey,
about
what
those
about
four, though,
Amy
right?
Adams in Nocturnal Animals?
They
did get the perfume.
My understanding is that they really don't like the film that much.
But they got the perfume, Eric.
I know, which they have to return. Slightly used.
Well, the intention is what counts, and they had to return yesterday, so they might have already voted.
That's true. Maybe. I would love it.
But yeah,
I really wish Focus Features had pushed Amy Adams in supporting to try and get her, double nominated. That would have been cool.
I mean, they like her. I mean, I think it could totally happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
They do like her.
she's a lot more likely than Chloe Sevigny. That's for sure.
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We'll see.
We will. We will see at 5:15 in the morning.
And then they just nominate Greta Gerwig, and this whole discussion is meaningless.
Yes. Ugh, I hope that doesn't happen. No offense to Gerwig fans, which there are dozens of, so. Oh. Okay. Let's go to actor in a supporting role.
Okay.
I have Mahershala Ali, Jeff Bridges, Ben Foster, Dev Patel, and Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals, I think. That's what I have.
Okay. I have 4 out of 5, once again. But I have Lucas Hedges instead of Ben Foster. Even though I did go back and forth on Jeff Bridges or Ben Foster for Hell of Hard Water.
That's really funny. I just read my predictions from the non-Gold Rush document, because the Gold Rush one has Lucas Hedges in instead of Michael Shannon, and that's kind of where I'm at as the maybe. If Shannon can be as popular as he is with them, I don't know. Hedges seems sort of undeniable, but he is very young. They're not that hip on young nominees.
Maybe, but Amazon really knows how to play the HFPA. Remember that Gael Garcia Bernal win for that random TV show no one watches?
Oh, yeah. That's different, though. The TV side is such a different animal than the movie side.
Yeah, I know, but
you can be
they
not,
have
you can
content.
win in your first year on the TV side and then get snubbed for a nomination in
Oh
your
no,
second season.
I'm just talking about Amazon's ability of playing the game as far as Golden Globes go. I'm not talking about him being young or anything like that.
True. Which is probably why we should have Patterson, Adam Driver and Patterson.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
And I know a lot of people do, but I'll have to think about that as I make my last minute scramble tonight. I'm with you on Ben Foster. What's that?
Has Driver been nominated for Girls at the Globes? I can't remember.
I don't know. I would have to look it up.
Hang on, I'm checking.
Oh, okay. I'm looking too, because I actually want to talk about this Ben Foster thing, because
No,
he has not been. This is this push has been very recent, because Foster has shown up at some critics' mentions and got the Independent Spirit nom over Bridges.
true.
Which I think could have been more an issue of category placement than anything. Bridges was nominated in lead at the Gothams because they only have lead categories. Mm-hmm. So that kind of thing is throwing things off quite a bit for us, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
But I could see that double nomination happening here. But I will probably end up with Lucas Hedges in over Michael Shannon when it comes down to it.
Fair enough.
Let's take a look at Best Director.
Okay.
Who is your top 5?
Oh boy. I have Chazelle, Jenkins, Lonergan, Scorsese, and the 5th one is Clint Eastwood for Sully, which won't probably last another hour.
I have the same top 4 as you. Then I have Denzel
As
Washington.
always.
Yes. Then Denzel Washington.
I'm seriously considering switch them.
No, Eastwood here makes so much sense. He's been able to get in without, his film getting into motion picture. Hanks is basically, locked in. So I think Eastwood makes total sense.
Yeah, I'm between them both, to be honest. either Eastwood or Washington, but I think they might go with the more well-known director of the both very well-known actors.
Yeah, because this is going to be regardless of who actually gets in, it's going to be a really great mishmash of very new young directors and very established older award-winning directors.
Sure.
So that'll be really kind of cool. I think I initially had Kenneth Lonergan being snubbed in this category. Let me see if I did that on the my main page official ones. Where are you, director? Oh my god, did I forget to even post that? There we go. Yeah, I do. On the main page, I have Giselle, Mel Gibson, Barry Jenkins, Martin Scorsese, and Denzel Washington. Gosh, oh my lord.
I could totally see that happening.
Wow.
Totally.
Yeah, this is another category that has a lot of options. If Lion is a big deal here, then Garth Davis could get in. If Loving is a bigger deal, then Jeff Nichols could. But Loving is also underperforming quite a bit.
Yeah.
In areas that it seemed like it should have been able to get into.
Tomorrow's gonna be a fun morning.
It is. I know we have a ton of other categories to get into, but I do want to also talk about the Screen Actors Guild because that's the 14th, and that could be even crazier. So
it always is.
Yeah, I want to jump over from Globe talk to Screen Actors Guild talk if that's cool.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it because that's going to be a huge hot mess. It's gonna be messy, and it's gotten a lot crazier since the SAG-AFTRA merge in 2012. The voting body is bigger as a whole, but those 2,200 random SAG-AFTRA members that vote are now more than just actors. It's, oh my god, announcers, broadcasters, journalists, dancers, DJs, news writers, news editors, program hosts, puppeteers, what the fuck, puppeteers, recording artists, singers, stunt performers, voiceover, and other, quote, media professionals. That's crazy. That's turning these awards into something far outside of the scope of acting.
True.
And then we end up with super crazy nominations that only make sense at SAG. And it can never be mentioned enough that, especially with this group, that 2,200 that are picked for the SAG nominating committee are random. If you're on that committee, you can't be on it again for another 8 years. And these are people that are all over the globe. These are not LA-based or New York-based people that are going to have access to all these movies all the time during award season. Their access is going to be based on studios getting screeners to them in their hands and on time during the voting period. That's it. There is no other. You can't get a nomination with SAG anymore without screeners. The SAG Q&As in LA and New York are really great, but they speak to a very tiny group of people that are potentially in this committee.
True.
So it's why I think it's honestly a really bad way to do this. I don't think it's that representative.
Oh, not at all. But it is what it is, so.
Yeah, I mean, we get, Straight Outta Compton and Beasts of No Nation, getting nominations in here when they had no chance, at the Oscars. So
True.
with,
boy.
With that, we should probably go right into what we think is going to get the outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. Because this is driving me crazy too.
Well, they always do.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight, Fences, Hidden Figures, and La La Land, even though it barely has an ensemble.
So, I have Hell or High Water, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight.
I could totally see that happening.
And, I mean, I have Hell or High Water in not just because I think it's, I think it's going to do very well here, but even more so based on its release. Because, little factoids, for the last 7 years, this category has had at least one film that was theatrically released by August. And the only things that really fall into that of the top contenders are Hell or High Water and like Eye in the Sky.
Which could happen.
I mean, Florence Foster Jenkins, Love and Friendship, Captain Fantastic, that has as well, but...
Oh, imagine if Florence Foster Jenkins shows up here.
That would be crazy pants. I don't even want to think about it.
But it's not happening with that box office.
No, I don't think that's happening here. I think what we saw last year with Straight Outta Compton was a massive box office hit and good screener access. And with Beasts of No Nation, Netflix just destroyed the screener game, and it was they had things everywhere, so they did a great job. So this category is a bit difficult for me because I want, based on that last 7 years, I want something in that is a summer release. And nothing stands out more than Hell or High Water as the summer sleeper that is now a real awards contender.
I think it's totally possible.
Ugh. Not ugh against the movie. I love the movie. It just makes this category very difficult. I don't feel... I feel pretty good about 4 of those 5. I don't feel very good about Lion.
It's difficult, though.
Fences, Eye in the Sky, and Hidden Figures make more sense to me than Lion does.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, here I am.
I don't know. I have Hidden Figures because, in theory, it should be the perfect ensemble at SAG movie. But the release dates, and I don't know if I feel it.
I know they got screeners out, but again...
Yeah, they did, but there's no buzz.
Yeah.
Because it's getting released way too late. In a film like that, with those reviews, it needs either a massive box office, like The Help, or it needed maybe a Harvey strategy for The Imitation Game, where it played every single festival from here to the sun, and won a bunch of random audience awards.
Yeah, but that also came out just before Thanksgiving and, made $100 million, and that was a bona fide hit. So.
Which, honestly, I think Hidden Figures might be, had it been released during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't finished in time, but it missed everything. It missed even showing at AFI, which was a huge shock. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have held on to that movie until next summer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because
I think
I
they
do think
wanted
it could be
to.
popular.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to explore the Martin Luther King holiday.
Yes.
So that's why they're releasing it then, which might work, but it's not a very good strategy awards wise.
No, and that's, I mean, when I talked to that team, this was not really on their main list of reasons for making the movie, and it isn't really that awardsy of a movie. It's PG. It's very, very safe. It's the kind of thing you can show in like elementary schools, and I imagine that was a big part of the reason for keeping it at a PG rating. So
Yeah, true.
it's it's the kind of thing that wasn't really meant for that. But then neither was Moonlight. Moonlight was not made as an awards movie.
Oh, not at all.
So it's things happen though.
Yeah.
So I'm very cautious about Hidden Figures as a potential to break in here. Not that I can't see it, I can see it. But boy, it's messy.
Yes, it is.
This is a messy category.
Oh, but that's why we do this.
It is.
It makes it more fun.
It is. It always makes it more fun. Especially if you don't get too personally invested in winners and losers and nominees and stuff. I mean, I love being happy when Jake Gyllenhaal gets a nomination, but I'm not going to, throw myself out a window if he doesn't. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And learn to take jokes because we are going to make fun of everyone.
Exactly. Let's take a look at the acting categories, because this also provides us with a lot of head scratching and, oh yes, they got 1,000 screeners out. Which I think we can almost basically call the Sarah Silverman rule now. After last year.
Yeah, I have a theory for who will get the Sarah Silverman.
Okay,
thing.
let's hear it.
But I don't have her on my predictions, but I'll mention it.
All right. Well,
later.
Is it in the supporting?
Yeah.
Okay, so
females.
We'll talk about that later. Let's get into male actor in a leading role, which I have. Oh my god, I am insane. How can I have this? Oh my god. I haven't done my write-up for it, and I haven't finalized my predictions, but I have some strange shit in here. I have Tom Hanks getting snubbed. Oh my god, what is wrong with me?
So right. Do I. What's wrong with me?
Okay, perfect. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. I have Casey Affleck. I have Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge. I have Ryan Gosling. I have Viggo Mortensen, and I have Denzel Washington.
I have the exact 5.
Holy shit! Either we're geniuses or we're fools.
Oh, we're probably fools.
Yes. All right. Let's. Oh my gosh, I'm shocked actually that we have the same. I don't know if I feel better or worse.
What's wrong with me? I forgot he existed.
Oh my god! All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about why we have Hanks out here because
I forgot he existed.
Oh my goodness! So then, who would you replace with?
Probably Viggo. But at the same time, I can totally see him being snubbed.
I'm actually going to, and do it as we speak right now, I am going to replace Andrew Garfield with Tom Hanks.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because it's insane. It does not make any sense to snub Tom Hanks here. It's a film that came out early. People would have seen it before even being sent a screener on the nomination committee. It's an early release. It's the biggest box office.
For Sully, for sure. And looking into it, I mean, I know it's AMPA, so it's different, but Bleecker Street sent Captain Fantastic to Ken Rudolph pretty early.
Yep.
He got the DVD on November 2nd.
Oh, I've had it for months.
Yeah. So I think it makes total sense.
Yeah, I think Mortensen makes a tremendous amount of sense here. I will not be surprised whatsoever if he gets in.
Yeah, and Garfield doesn't really feel like a SAG nominee for some reason.
No, there is I mean,
Yeah, I could definitely see it happening.
I see Garfield benefiting from Hacksaw being released early enough to be seen because Silence was not.
Oh yeah, Silence is getting nowhere near side.
It's not getting anything here at
Nowhere.
all. This is not even a case of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant like last year, which
No,
totally
no.
got in when it probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, but it's completely different.
Yeah. So I feel very comfortable now removing Garfield from here. But I had realized I hadn't updated these in quite some time. Oh my god, I still have like Miles Teller in the other contenders and
Jesus.
Brad Pitt. I need to erase that shit right now. That's a mess. So yeah, neither of us have Joel Edgerton.
No, I don't think it's happening here.
I wonder. I mean, I feel really solid about Affleck, Gosling, and Washington, unless there's some weird anti-male lead in a musical thing that happens.
No, I really don't think so.
But I don't think so either. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then let's move to female actor in a leading role, because this gets us to forces us to make the really tough decisions.
Okay. Should I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think the after part of SAG will deny Hooper her nomination because they have no idea who she is.
I do too.
So I'm going Amy Adams for Arrival. I know they don't really like her, but I think she's getting in. Emma Stone for La La Land, Natalie Portman for Jackie, Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins, and Ruth Negga for Loving.
Okay. I thought we were going to go 5-5, but we didn't.
Oh, didn't we?
No, because I have Amy Adams, Annette Bening, Natalie Portman, Emma Stone, and Meryl Streep.
Okay, I could totally see that happening.
Very, very close, but I agree with you. I think Hooper is not going to factor in here. Sony Classics isn't the greatest at the screener game. And they're really, boring. They're just in those little old, like, CD paper wrappers, and nobody likes that. Nobody gives a shit. The Amy Adams thing is curious, because I know we keep saying SAG doesn't like Amy Adams, but she only missed American Hustle and The Master. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I know American Hustle came late. Did The Master as well? I can't remember.
No, The Master I don't think was that late. I'm forgetting now. But she got, Golden Globe, and she was all over the place critics-wise for that.
True. Oh, yeah, true.
So I don't think that was too much a factor. I don't know. It's weird. It was a very strange. Both of those were very strange misses for her here. But again, that was before the huge influx change of the merge. So I think that things are a slightly different animal. So
That's a good point.
So you think Ruth Negga's getting in?
I do, but I mean, she's on the edge of the predictions. She might not remain there for very long. So I'm not putting my hand on fire for her.
Okay, good. I hope you don't do that for anybody, because that sounds dangerous.
Well, I don't know. It is a saying in Portuguese. But I think betting makes sense here, if only because of name recognition.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, let's say, that Ruth Negga might get in here. And she's everywhere. She is campaigning hard.
She really, really is. She's doing a fantastic job, and I mean, I think she's going to do well in other areas, but just not here. I think this is going to be a little more a little more down the line.
Fair enough.
But then I'm like, Sarah Silverman. And then I try and think who could possibly be like the person to do that. I don't know if there is one in this category, other than maybe Kate Beckinsale.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. But if she were to break through, it would be at the expense of Annette Bening or Amy Adams. Unless, oh my God, Natalie Portman is snubbed.
Can you imagine? Or even better, imagine they snub Emma Stone.
Either of them. If either of them were snubbed, the other side of this army war would just celebrate.
I mean, I really don't care. I like them both. I don't love any of them, but it would just make me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I would not be too upset about it. All right, let's go to male actor in a supporting role, because I have one big outlier here.
No, I'm going pretty straightforward. I'm with Ali for Moonlight, Bridges for Hell or High Water, Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, Patel for Lion, and Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins.
Well, wow. I only have 3? Wow, okay.
Interesting.
Gosh, that doesn't even make sense, but it's... Here we are. I have Ali for Moonlight, Bridges for Hell or High Water, Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, Patel for Lion, and Alan Rickman for Eye in the Sky.
I could see it happening, but I don't feel a big push for it.
I kind of do. The campaign for the film has even focused on him solely. I've seen ads that are just him. It's a very early screener.
I can totally see it happening. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not really just about the campaigning. I mean, Furious 7 had a Best Picture campaign.
Are you comparing Alan Rickman with Furious 7?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Let me finish my point.
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, campaigns can say whatever they want, but we need the narrative to form. And narratives formed outside of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So, with James Gandolfini, for instance, which was the last time it happened, there were a lot of articles about how he could be nominated after he died. And it seemed as if it was a lot more relevant to the Oscar conversation than with Alan Rickman.
The other, you're absolutely right. And the other thing that benefited James Gandolfini very obviously was the TV element.
True.
Because he was much more a TV star than he was a film star. And, TV people vote here too.
Yeah.
I realize Alan Rickman is a total left field pick, and that Hugh Grant makes more sense. Even Michael Shannon in Nocturnal Animals makes more sense. So, I fully acknowledge that.
But it's sad. I mean, you must have at least one out of the left field predictions. So
and that is
valid.
And it is my only total crazy prediction here. I think anyway. But yeah, I like yours. I think yours are much more realistic. So there you have it.
Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So female actor in a supporting role.
Okay. I have Viola Davis, Naomi Harris, Nicole Kidman, Michelle Williams, and Helen Mirren because they love Helen Mirren.
I have the exact same 5.
But I have a very out of the left field nomination that might, let's be real, won't happen at all, but might fill the Sarah Silverman role of where the hell did this come from? Netflix sent Tallulah for SAG voters.
Oh my god.
And everyone knows who Allison Janney is.
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
So, I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be so weird. That would definitely be a weird-ass nomination.
But so was Sarah Silverman, but...
Oh my gosh, I can't even like look at that in my list and go, how does that work?
I mean, I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying it might happen.
Yes.
In one reality.
What about Molly Shannon and other people? I know a lot of pundits were kind of leaning toward this as a possibility and trying to kind of make it happen, but it hasn't really so far. She hasn't like shown up anywhere, but I think if she was going to, this would sort of be the place to do it.
Yeah, I don't know, because usually these out of the left field predictions, they are really crazy. You know, when someone shows up at SAG, is not someone who is like number 8 on your predictions list.
Yeah.
It's someone who you have never even considered.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. Maybe she could show up, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we both are going to have, just like with the Golden Globes, Gerwig, Monet, Spencer are kind of all hovering around this right now, especially if the Helen Mirren thing is just a result of Trumbo last year and her getting those 3 nominations. I mean, yes, she is enormously popular with the Screen Actors Guild, and last year just was like a total holy crap.
But who knows? It's only 200 people, so it might be a completely different... it is a completely different set, but let's say someone who... Maybe we get the exact set who hates Helen Mirren. And then
that would be hilarious. It's 2,200. It's
2,200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not very much when you consider there's like 200,000 people in SAG-AFTRA, and that 2,200 of them get to make this decision.
It's crazy.
It is. It is really crazy.
I kind of really hope they like The West Wing, because I really want to see it happening.
God, now I'm just thinking about Allison Janney, and I'm like, holy Lord. Because she'll probably get a...
Don't worry.
She'll probably get a nomination on the TV side, since they don't have supporting categories.
Oh, no, they won't. They hate her. Mom. She never got a SAG nomination for Mom.
Yeah, but they don't have supporting categories, that's why. That's why Uzo Aduba is always there. And wins.
Ugh.
It's crazy. That's nuts. All right, I think we're gonna wrap here because it is 11:40 a.m. and all of those Critics Awards are streaming in, and now I am going to be locked in front of this computer like a maniac for the next 7 hours. But yes, so that's our Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild predictions. The Golden Globes are tomorrow, Monday.
And I can't wait to see how wrong we are.
I know. And then Screen Actors Guild are December 14th.
Yes.
So don't forget to follow us on Twitter at awards_watch and come to awardswatch.com for all of these crazy predictions. And I think that's about it. Julia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. And just reminding everyone, the Gold Rush contest is still open for both the Golden Globes and the SAG. And please, please, please follow the rules, or I will give you 0.
That's true. You will get 0 points. And so far, it's been a pretty low point total contests.
Oh yeah.
They get really big
now
tomorrow.
Things get real.
Yep, they get really big tomorrow with those with the Golden Globe nominations and the SAG nominations. So if you still want to jump in and participate in the Gold Rush contest, absolutely do so. Go into the forums, into the Gold Rush subforum, and get started. Do it. You've got less than 12 hours to get your Golden Globe nominations in, or something like that.
Go,
right?
go, go.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right. Thank you again, Julia.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.